Welcome back to the Cat Knit Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, July 20th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day. And I have a lot to show you and mainly a lot of stuff that I want to do. So this is very exciting. I have a lot of just yarn skeins sitting right here. So that is very exciting. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I am most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there. In addition to that, all the links to stuff that I will be talking about hopefully will be in the show notes, so that will be on my blog. If you're on YouTube, the link to that will be down below, or if you are on my blog already, everything is already there. I can't think of anything else that needs to be discussed or announced before I get into things. I just have a lot to show you. So this is very exciting. So I guess we'll just have a short intro. It is getting ready to storm, I hope. Fingers crossed. It keeps thundering and it's very dark and cloudy. So I'm really hoping that it storms, you know. So now we have the weather announcement out of the way. If you like to go grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, or all of the above, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. Everyone, I do have a finished object. I promise. But it's blocking right now. I literally finished it last night and blocked it this morning and didn't really think about the fact that I wanted to show it to you guys beforehand, but probably it's better that way because it's much later in the day when I'm recording and I really need to take pictures of this thing because it's a test knit and whatever. So you will be able to see it, but it's the Speckle and Spice Speckles and Spice crop pullover by Tammy Gore. It is wonderful. It is so cute. I cannot wait to wear it. It's a DK, good stash buster if you got the little bits and pieces for the contrasting colors. I always love doing that. Mine is all stash. I love doing that. It just brings joy. I feel like I am using my yarn well and it's finally getting used, and that's always exciting. But there's also nothing wrong with keeping yarn and just looking at it because it's beautiful, because I have a pile of yarn literally right over here on this little bookshelf that has been sitting there for a long time and I haven't used it. But it is beautiful and I like looking at it. So there are good sides to all of this yarn, stash, acquisition, whatever. And yes, what was I talking about? Oh, the test knit. So yes, I finished it last night. It is cropped. It is short sleeved. It's got color work. It's a yoke. It has 4 colors. And yeah, I believe it should be out either the end of this week or the beginning of next week. So keep your eyes peeled on my Instagram and my Ravelry for pictures of that. I will be posting that when that goes live, but that's super exciting. And I've had such a fun time test knitting this thing. Or it's not a thing. I mean, it is a thing, but it's a sweater, the pullover. It's awesome. And I feel like the nice thing about DK weight sweaters is that it's a nice like transitional weight kind of. Maybe more so in other locations that is not Houston, or warmer climates, but there are times where it is a little bit chilly, but it's not cold enough to like wear a full-on like heavy sweater or a coat or whatever. And especially since it has short sleeves, I feel like for Houston, it will be a good like transitional piece from summer to fall, which is very exciting. I say that, it's like the end of July, or almost the end of July. Can we believe that July's almost over? Like, we only have 10 days left in July. Where did July go? Like, what the poop? It was just May. I told you it would be Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween before we knew it, and here we are, basically the end of July, or close to it. I worked a lot on my secret test knit in my beautiful purple cat bag from Big Sky Yarn Company. I am so excited. I was about to pull it open, but I'm not allowed to show it. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I am loving it, and it's making good progress. It is quite the knit, and I'm very excited to be able to show it to you guys at some point in the future. So that is very exciting. That is where a lot of my knitting time has gone this past week. Also, I keep getting notifications. I always am afraid that I'm missing notifications when I see my phone light up, and it's like, do I need to be aware of what's going on? Okay. That is fine. You know. So yes, my secret test knit has eaten up a lot of my knitting time this week, which is totally okay, and that's totally fine. And I did say that this would happen, that I would have to knit on it quite a lot because it is a lot of knitting, but I wouldn't be able to show it to you. So that would mean that my knitting other things is particularly down. But also, I do have a finished sweater that I can't show you because it's wet and it's being blocked. That was bad planning on my part. But again, we can go over this, talk in circles all we want. It's late in the day. I need to take pictures of it tomorrow, and if I blocked it after this, then it wouldn't probably be dry, and blah, 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 blah. So here we are. Let's move on to the next project, shall we? Okay, I didn't work on this at all. Did I really not work on any of these things? Oh, goodness gracious. I thought I had worked. Maybe I'm just forgetting. Nope. Didn't work on this. Thought I did. This is my sock. This is my sock for Lindsay of Lost and Fond. I am test knitting this. This is going to be a rolled double thickness cuff. It is wonderful. Haven't worked on this at all since last time I showed it to you because I have my little cute handy dandy progress keeper from Hand Stitch Life, which I still have a discount code for you guys that you can get 15% off your order until the end of July. It is Cat Knits 15. So please go check out her cute stitch markers. I'm going to get some, and I'm very excited. I just keep trying to decide which sets I want to get, and I have not yet decided that, but I do have a coupon code. Do you say coupon or coupon? This is a discussion that Sam, my husband, and I have all the time. I say coupon, he says coupon. It's not coupon. What is a coupon? It's not spelled with a Q-U, it's a C. Coupon. I've probably asked this question at some point on here. It always makes me laugh, and just stuff like that we do slightly differently is like, it's coupon, discount code, whatever, you know. What do you call it? Is it coupon? Is it something totally different? I don't know. So in this sock, I have the gray, which you can't really see, but it is kind of situated in there, so it's not going to be tangled. But this little bit, this gray, is blue mule fiber. It is, let's see, I do have the ball band. The Donegal Doc Holiday color. That is the information. And then this is their logo. They, I believe, are in Lafayette, Texas. So they are Texas local, which is pretty cool. I have had this discussion about using DPNs versus a circular, 9-inch circular. It is very particular to however you knit socks. I will say, I don't think I said this last week, but I learned how to knit socks on DPNs, and I don't know if that has really shaped the way that I view socks and shaped the way that I knit socks. I'm sure it has, but I do think that is interesting. yeah, so the mohair is Hedgehog Fibers Mohair. I don't remember the colorway name, but it is a bright neon electric purple and truly wonderful, and I quite love it. So the cuff is really mainly the biggest thing because you have to be folding it under and doing it like that in the end, and so I need to have a much longer cuff. To me, this is exciting because they look to me more like slipper socks because of the cuff and how thick it is. Granted, I'm sure if you lived in a much colder place that like it would be really wonderful to wear them at any point, or with fun shoes really, but here it does not. You don't always need such intense warmth around your feet. And so I'm viewing these as more slipper socks for myself. Granted, I know that a lot of other people will probably not be seeing them that way. Excuse me, I'm recording a podcast. Can we please be quiet out there? Thank you. I don't know what that was, but we don't need loud noises right now. This is living in my pumpkin spice latte bag from Suburban Stitcher, from when she used to make bags. And it's giving me all the fall vibes. It's making me want it to be very cold, chilly, windy, rainy, not sunny, not hot, not humid. I'm tired of the heat. I am tired of the sun. I know that I've talked about this with some people, and I was telling Sam about this at one point recently. We have had so much sun recently, and it is just a lot because it is so hot. It is incredibly hot. It is very humid. It's just not very pleasant, and it can be eventually kind of dangerous if you stay outside too long. But I was discussing or saying that I feel like some people, when it's rainy for too long, or they're in dark and gloomy climates for too long, or it's just really dark and it's rainy or whatever, they get sad and depressed. And that's totally understandable, and I can completely understand that, but I feel like it's the opposite for me. So when it's sunny for too long, I get really sad. It's like, I just want some rain. Can we have a really amazing thunderstorm or like a rainy couple of days? Like, this would just be so nice. Which is why I really want it to rain right now, you know? Because I'm tired of the sun. There's nothing wrong with the sun. I know the sun is good, vitamin D, all that jazz. I know it's important. Happy feelings from being outside. I haven't worked on this at all. I'm sorry, we're rambling today. Have I worked on this? I don't even remember. Pretty sure I haven't. You know, like I said, I would be working on other things. This doesn't look like anything. This is my Sea Bogger sweater, and this is the front or the back, I don't remember which one, but I have divided, which is very good. So we've made progress. So I have the back or whatever, the front on a little Scooby, and I'm just knitting back and forth and striping. Though knitting back and forth in stockinette does still go very quickly, I really do miss knitting in the round because it's literally all knitting, and now I have to worry about purling, which, oh wow, that is such a travesty. It's not really a travesty at all, and I just need to get over it, but compared to knitting in the round, because all you do is knit, like, I would much prefer that. But again, not a big deal. I just need to get over it. My yarn is Knit Picks Stroll Tweed, and I love it so much. It's so soft. The stitch definition is incredible. We have the beautiful tweedy bits. I have Rabbit Heather as the light brown, and then Farmhouse Heather for the dark brown, and I cannot wait to make more with this yarn. It is truly incredible, and It is awesome. I did have problems with the little skeins falling apart, so I actually wound them all up into cakes. It could be that I was just very rough with them in this bag. It's a pretty big bag, and I think things were just getting smushed and balls of yarn were falling apart, and it was just going everywhere. It was very irritating. So I went for a center pull. It's not going to roll anywhere. It's all good. Much better. Much more happy feelings. Less stress. So, yes, what else do we have to talk about? We have this. I'm thinking about things that I need to talk about. This is my Cozy Days cowl by Autumn Poppy Designs. See, I do sing quite a lot, you know. This is, I really wanted to get this done. I was so like bound and determined to get it done, but the Speckles and Spice absolutely had to be done, and then I needed to make progress on my secret test knit, and so this did not get done. This must get done. I am so close. Like literally, I have my little counting sheet. I have 5 repeats left. Granted, I think last time I talked to you, I had 6 repeats left. So yeah, but everybody, let's have a little slight change of subject. While still talking about knitting, of course. Actually, let me tell you about this yarn first. This yarn, Long Dog yarn, she is in Louisiana. I have the mohair, which is Sea Glass, and then her single, which is Pinky Swear, and oh my goodness, I love it so much. This is a long, kind of narrow, ooh, I've got mohair in my mouth. Not a fan. Not a fan. There we go. There's a lightning alert. Please let it storm. So we have stripes down here. We've got a beautiful lace portion in here. And then more stripes until I hit a certain length. And it's just beautiful. Chevrons. And then I'll Kitchener the ends together. So that's very exciting. I do, so we can see that I have completed 1 repeat because again, I have my hand stitched life little progress keeper here, my little white cat who's very sassy. So this has become knitting, reading knitting. I always get those words mixed up. And that is really wonderful because everyone, there's a readathon going on right now, and it is probably one of the biggest, most popular readathons in the reading book community. I feel like it is the Reading Rush. It is from July 20th to July, I don't remember. We'll look it up, but it's just your basic readathon. You have prompts. Did I say what it was called? The Reading Rush. Did I say? I don't even remember if I said what that was. July 20th to July 26th. So, it is a week long. We have 7 prompts, so potentially 7 books in 7 days. I am literally an hour away from finishing my first book, which is pretty amazing. I started it early this morning, and I have slowly sped up the narrator, so I'm now currently have it going as fast as it possibly can, and normally I would not be into that, and like it's just, I don't go from 1 to 2 times as fast. I work my way up, so I usually start at 1.25, I listen to a couple hours or whatever, maybe 45 minutes or an hour, then I go up to 1.75 or 1.5 and then 1.75 and then I hit 2. So I space it out, and by the time I hit 1.75 or even 2, it's like, wow, okay, I could go faster than this. This is not an option on my little reading audiobook app, library app, whatever. And yes, Maybe that's weird. I don't know. It's funny because whenever Sam overhears me listening to something that is going that fast, he's always like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah." You can't understand what they're saying, and it's like, yes, I can. I've trained my ear. I've slowly built myself up, and I can totally understand what they're saying, which I can. I may not be absorbing as much of the story as I would, but I am still enjoying it. So, I mean, I know what's going on. So, I am currently reading the book, The Kingdom of Back, which is by Marie Lu. This is the cover. I think you can see yourself. And this is fulfilling the prompt that is a book that starts with the word "the" in the title, which is The Kingdom of Back. This is a very interesting story. It's kind of like fantasy meets Mozart, like Mozart's life. It's very odd, but it's very enjoyable. I am a huge classical music fan. Like, I love it very dearly, and so when I heard about this book and like having fantasies and fairies and magic combined with Mozart, him growing up, and mainly his sister, who is the main character, and just them growing up as Mozarts and composing and playing music while also being involved in magic and fairies and what that is like, while also performing for people like Haydn, and like, wow, history plus magic. And it's just like, wow, 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 wow. This is awesome. I love this. This is kind of strange, but it's very different, and I'm really enjoying myself. So I would highly recommend it if you're into like fantasy stuff and also like historical fiction type things. It's not, obviously it's not historically accurate at all because fairies and magic, but it's very fun. Would highly recommend. So yeah, I'm almost done with my first book, which is really awesome. I'm starting off to a great start. And, I think I have one more audiobook, and then the rest of them are actually reading with my eyes. Books, which is so wonderful that we can describe books as books that you read with your eyes opposed to reading with your ears, you know? Yes. Yay, audiobooks. I love audiobooks because you just put your headphones in and you just do your stuff. And like by the end of the day, you've listened to almost or an entire audiobook. So, yes, let's get back to bring this back. Rein this conversation rambling in. I have a lot of reading coming up this week because of the reading rush, and I'm very excited about the books I have planned. And so, reading knitting is what I will be doing. Unfortunately, my secret knitting test knit is not reading knitting. But, and I need to work on my sock. That can be reading knitting. And then also, everybody, I have another test knit. Are we surprised? No one is surprised. But, everyone, I am test knitting this beautiful, beautiful colorwork sweater for Rachel of September Knits. I love her so much. Her patterns are incredible. I have test knit for her many times, and I love it. I love working with her. She is so sweet. And I really appreciate that she does her tester call super far in advance of when the deadline is. And so, it just depends on what she's releasing, and it just depends on designer to designer. But for me, that is really helpful because usually I've got a lot of test knits going on, and if I know that this particular one, I don't need my yarn until a certain date, I don't need to have it done till November, which is really incredible. And hopefully by that point, I'm not going to say that I will have all my Christmas knitting done because that sounds very intense, and I don't think I'm ready to think about that. Oh goodness. That's very overwhelming. I really need to plan ahead better. It's almost the end of July. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, I don't have my yarn for it currently, but I will be, it is a main color and then just one color for the colorwork. So I'll be using my stash for the colorwork, and then I'll be getting, Barocco Vintage DK is my plan. For the main color, and I have 3 different colors picked out for my colorwork, and I just have to pick what base color I want. And so yeah, I'm very excited about that, and it's very relaxed. It's very just like, go at your own pace, no big deal. And I don't know, this past week in regards to my knitting, let's just talk about just our knitting lives, shall we? Let's just get really deep and personal with our knitting lives. It's not really too deep and personal, but I don't know. So for me, my experience, let's say, just at the beginning, I love test knitting. I love doing it. I love getting to work with designers. I love getting to make things that I wouldn't like necessarily, well, I would pick them to knit them, otherwise I wouldn't be test knitting them, but like, it's just a new experience. I get to learn things, I get to just meet a lot of people, and it's really wonderful. So I love test knitting, but sometimes the deadlines and stuff can get very overwhelming. And I only say that because they become overwhelming because I overthink them. And I would assume I'm not the only one, but like, as I'm working on something and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is due at the end of the week. I need to get this done tonight. And it's like, I'm sorry, you have like 3 inches left of the body and barely any sleeves to knit. You will get it done before Friday. It's okay. Calm down. But like, my brain is like, oh my goodness, you need to get this done now. You're gonna run out of time. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. That is not the case. It's okay. Calm down. And when I get in that place, it's like, well, I have no time to knit any of my other things. This makes me really sad. I don't have any time. I'm just really behind on everything, when I'm not actually behind on anything. And then I get bummed about my knitting. So I will not lie, that happened this past week. Granted, I was very productive in the end. I did get things done. I moved forward. I made progress. But in full transparency and all honesty, it was overwhelming, and I kind of had a low knitting mojo week. And it was kind of a sad thing, but also it happens. You know, it's totally okay. And in the end, I feel like I ended up doing more than I thought I would, which was really awesome. So Friday rolled around, or Saturday rolled around, and it was like, I didn't do any knitting. And then I looked at it, especially my secret test knit and this pullover I just finished, and was like, oh, well, I actually got a lot done. I got a lot done. Because like last week I had not even divided for the sleeves of the sweater that I just finished. So in all honesty, I knit half of a sweater in 1 week, which is still really incredible, and that's really awesome. And I shouldn't be like, oh my goodness, I got no knitting done this week, because I did. It's just a little voice in my head that's like, you gotta get things done before the deadline. And it's like, no, you get to work up to the deadline. That's the point of the deadline. It doesn't need to be done before it, unless there's an actual reason for that. Don't put extra stress on yourself. So yes, that's my little ranty story about low knitting mojos. Don't overthink your deadlines. It can be very just kind of disheartening sometimes, and it's like, this is not what this is about. You know, sometimes you just like take a step back, look at the stuff that you have got done, and acknowledge the wonderful, beautiful thing you're making. And that's super awesome, and it'll get done when it gets done, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay that you didn't work on anything else. if it would bring you more joy, if it would encourage you a little bit, take a break, work on something that will bring you joy, work on something that is just your favorite project, or something that is not like needing to get done for 30 minutes or something, and then just enjoy that and just be like, ah, okay, I made some good progress and I feel really good about this, and I loved working with this yarn, I love working on this pattern, I feel good. Because that's what we want. This is such a good feeling thing. It brings joy, and that's what knitting, crafting, crocheting, whatever you do, whatever you make, that should bring joy. Not overwhelming sensations, not sadness, not low knitting mojo, though it's okay, it happens. That is not the point of knitting or crocheting or crafting. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That was a long ranty thing and I feel very out of breath. Let's take a little drink break. I have Coke today. I don't know what you're drinking. Hopefully you're almost done folding your laundry. Actually, I would hope you'd be done folding your laundry at this point, because I think I've been recording for 30 minutes at this point. Maybe you have a lot of laundry to fold. I don't know. Maybe you should go have a cookie, because cookies are always good if you have cookies. Or make cookies. I don't know. You do you. Okay, everybody. So now we get to talk about the huge pile of yarn that is sitting at my feet that you can't see, but there is quite a lot. If you watched last week's episode, I kind of did a knitting tag of sorts, and so I went through all the projects that I have knit from January up until this point and answered questions about them and like all that kind of fun stuff, and I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Two of the questions were, or one of the questions was, things that I have been meaning to knit and have not gotten around to and that I'm going to knit. So all these projects I have yarn for. I went and there's a lot more. There is a lot more of projects that I have yarn for. I just pulled out some that I am particularly excited about, where I saw the yarn and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. I want to knit that now. So some of these skeins of yarn I have gotten recently. Some of this yarn I have had for a long time. Some of this yarn I got at the beginning of the year. Some of this yarn I've had for a really long time. But that's okay. You know what? Like, it's stash. Again, we enjoy having the stash because then we can knit from our stash and we can be inspired and creative with our stash, and it's wonderful. Or you can look at it and it's beautiful and it makes you happy, and there's nothing wrong with either one. Both bring joy, which again, we've gone over this. Joy is important. So where do we start? I don't know. So this is yarn that I got kind of recently in the past month. It's this Navy Cascade Eco Wool. I love this yarn so much. I can't even, like, I'm sure I could count, but I have so many projects knit out of this. This yarn has gone in so many different projects. I love this yarn. It is such a good workhorse yarn. The yardage is incredible. The stitch definition is incredible. The price point is incredible. And yes, would highly, highly, highly recommend it. This looks particularly good with cables. I love it with cables. I have a cabled cardigan knit out of my very first Cascade Eco Wool that I ever used, and I still have it, still love it, still wear it. It is the best. And I knit that in college. It is still holding up, and it is so good. So this is going to be the Grace pullover, which is fitting because it is my name, you know. And so yes, this is the Grace pullover by Denise Bayron. or Baron Handmade. And this is a fitted, or it can be slouchy, but it's cropped. It's got cables down the front. There's a little bit of a mock turtleneck. It is so cute. Like, please just go look at the Grace pullover hashtag. There are so many cute ones. I realize we're very close. Hello. So yes, this is yarn that my mom and I got recently. She is doing white? No, silver. Like a gray color, I believe. I think. I could be wrong. I don't actually remember. I'm doing navy. I'm very excited. This is knit on big needle, so really I should cast this on soon because then it'll be ready to wear when it gets cold, and I will love being able to wear it, and it will bring me instant gratification joy, which is always really good. And I feel like I should maybe finish one other thing and then cast something on, because people, I am down. I have like 8 things on my needles right now, and like I talked about how I wanted to make, like 10 was great, 7 is awesome, maybe 5, that seems pushing it, so we'll go at 7, 6, 7, whatever. I have 8 on my needles. What? I'm almost done with my Cozy Days cowl, so that's gonna be getting done, and instant gratification, and then I'll be ready and I'll be done. So I really want to do that. I have mainly sweaters and shawls here. So next up, what do we have? Let's do a shawl. This yarn is stunning, everyone. This is yarn that I got from Houston Fiber Fest 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And this is Amanda Hope yarn. This is her Aussie Extra Fine. So does a 4-ply superwash with a 19.5 macron extra fine merino wool. So it is so soft. It is incredibly soft. It does not, it feels like it's so much more than just wool. It is incredibly soft, and it knits up really well. This is the copper colorway, the silver gray colorway, and then the pink sandalwood colorway. And I've been wanting to do the Girl's Best Friend shawl by Isabel Kramer for the longest time. I got this yarn specifically for that shawl. This has never been broken up because I want to make the shawl so badly, and I've had this yarn for 2 years. It was 2 years in June, okay? So, like, this has to be knit up soon, because I don't want it to get to 3 years and I still have not knit this. But I love it so much, and it's so soft, and I really love the shawl, and the shawl brings me joy, and I feel like it's getting darker outside, and I just want it to storm, and I want it to be cold so I can snuggle up in this beautiful shawl and my cabled pullover. It is getting darker though, and that was some thunder, so that is very exciting. I need to knit this. Out of all these things, this is the oldest. No. Yeah, maybe. No, I don't know. This is one of the oldest things for sure. So this needs to get done. This is the, yeah, like I said, the Girl's Best Friend by Isabel Kramer. It's a triangular shawl with a bunch of beautiful texture. My mom has one just like it. She used, I'm not sure what yarn she used. And her pink is a little bit more pink. But same idea, and it's just like the one that Isabel made, and it is stunning, stunning. I just need to do it, I think. But there's so many things I need to do. You know? So that is that piece. And then let's do another shawl. This is a very new yarn acquisition, and this has not been seen by anybody, but this does have cat hair on it. This is a skein of Hedgehog's brand new Tweety base, and my mom and I were able to snag a skein each from Loops in Tulsa, which is really wonderful. We really love Loops. Being from Oklahoma, it's just really fun to be able to support an Oklahoman yarn store, and we go there whenever we get the chance, whenever we are in Tulsa. So this yarn is 50% Falkland merino wool, 37.5% recycled wool, and 12.5% Hedgehog Fibers thread waste, which would be like bits and pieces left over from other yarns. So every skein is very individual because it's all made with different bits and pieces of yarn. And look how beautifully and tweedy that is. It is so stunning. It's gray and like, oh my, it has gotten very dark. Might need to open the blinds because it is so dark outside. I don't know what this is going to be. I really just want something, because it's like, it's a special single skein type thing. I might do something simple like Age of Brass and Steam, the Boneyard shawl, something like that. I don't know, but I know Sylvia McFadden has some, but hers are usually bigger shawls, so I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I'm very excited about this because it is just stunning, and there was so much just funness in seeing everyone get excited about the yarn. And yeah, so I'm really excited to be able to have a skein, because I know it was very popular and sold out very quickly, and so I feel very lucky to get a skein and to be able to work with it. There's a bit of sparkle in here. Oh my goodness. I love sparkle in my yarn. It is so wonderful. So yes, that is that. Next up, what shall we talk about? Next up, we have this yarn that I got for Christmas this year, and no, not this year, 2019, this past December. This is Forest Fiber Arts, and I went through and I picked out what shawls at all these yarns would be, and I forget which one this was going to be exactly, but I think it was either going to be Hot Oatmeal or Akimi by Isabel Kramer. I forget who Hot Oatmeal is by. You know what, we can look this up. I do have this, I should have this listed on my Ravelry in my queue. Oh my goodness, looking at my queue is always just very distracting. I want to make all these things now. Why is it this way? Oh my goodness. So yes, I don't actually remember, but it's some shawl like that. It is a asymmetrical shawl. Should I like look up what the shawls are, and maybe I will have it? Because I know that I like put what I was gonna use. Did I? It's not showing up. Boo. Anyway, Hot Oatmeal is by Sweater Freak. Hot Oatmeal or Akimi. Also, Hollows. Is it raining? No, not yet. It is getting very windy. Okay, so yes, we're getting very distracted. So yes, this is Forest Fiber Arts in the Amethyst Storm colorway, which is just beautiful, very autumnal, but blue and purple, which purple is my favorite color. It is also my birthstone, which is also a prompt for the reading rush, which is read a book with the color of your birthstone on the cover. Fun fact, we love reading here. I love this yarn. It is stunning. It's got all shades of purple. It's got pink. It's got blue. It's got brown. It's got orange. It's got speckles, it's got navy, it's got some gray. Like, this is stunning. Top-notch fall shawl for sure, and I'm very excited to knit with this. She has also included a little progress keeper that is attached to the yarn that says made with love. And I need to work with this, and I have not yet, but it is just so beautiful. I love looking at it because it is just so stunning. Next up, let's do a sweater. Which sweater do I want to do? Okay, let's do this one. I have so many more balls of this. I only brought 2 in so you could get like a big picture kind of what the color is. But just know there are so many more balls of yarn that I did not bring in here. But this is Knit Picks palette, the beautiful, wonderful, incredible yarn. Please knit with this yarn. It is amazing that I will be knitting the Wool and Honey sweater by Andrea Mowry. I have gotten this yarn, that didn't make sense. I've had this yarn for, not this past Christmas, maybe the Christmas before. So, a year and a half, I think. It could be the Christmas before, but I don't want to think about that. It could be, I don't know. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. I still have the yarn. I'm still going to make the same thing because I love the Wool and Honey sweater. I have wanted one for so long. I love this color, which is Pumice Heather, and it is just so beautiful. It's showing up a little bit more blue on camera. It is more warm and brown toned in person, and it is stunning, and I cannot wait to make the Wool and Honey sweater. This also needs to happen because fall, and yes, and Knit Picks, and just incredible yarn for an incredible sweater, and it's just so amazing, and so I need to do it, and I need to stop procrastinating. I just get distracted by a lot of things. Clearly, I have a lot to knit, and I just don't have enough time. There's not enough time in the day that is physically possible to knit all the things that I want to knit. And that's just the fact of life, you know? There's just no way around that. Let's do another shawl. This is a fun thing. This brings me joy. So I took with me a skein of yarn to the Stephen West event that I went to at the Modern Skein back in November, and I took this skein with me, and this is Moon Tower Dye Works. I believe this is, I don't know. I got this from the Knitting Cup, and this is my spaghetti, which is a meme if you are unaware. This is the IO sock. There's just so many speckles, so much neon, so much fun. It is amazing. So I took the skein with me to this Stephen West thing, got to meet him. It was just incredible. Yes, it was so amazing. And I was like, Stephen, I would like to make cafe knitting your shawl with this skein in there somewhere. And he was like, okay, cool. And I think I put these, he rearranged them, but I picked out these 3 colors because we've got the neon green and we got the purple. And so I was like, hi, what do you think about these colors together for cafe knitting? And he was like, yes. So we have the Stephen West seal of approval, which is not necessarily needed all the time, but it definitely feels good. And it really makes me very happy when you get the Stephen West seal of approval. That just is really wonderful. Anyway, so yes, this is going to be cafe knitting, which is a shawl pattern I have had in my queue for before it was even part of his yarn club. I have wanted to do this forever. I had to wait until it came public to everyone, the people not in the shawl club or the yarn club or whatever, and then I just still haven't made it. So I have Life in the Long Grass. This is the Marikai color, my Spaghetti from Moon Tower, and then I have an Undercover Otter in Your Mother Darn Socks in Hell, which is a very odd name. I hadn't actually read the name before. What is that name? Anyway, so this is what my lineup is. I believe, woo, I think it'll be this with the speckled in the middle. It could be that, but I really like the speckled in the middle. No. So it could be that too. That is also a possibility, but I really like that. So, Cafe Knitting by Stephen West, 3-color, fadey, stripy, triangular textured shawl. Super fun. I've had this yarn for not super long, not quite a year. Although I've had this Moon Tower for longer. Because I got this when we went to Georgetown, which was over Memorial Day last year. So this needs to happen. This is more of like, this is not necessarily fall colors. Not necessarily, but you can wear whatever colors you want, whenever you want, you know? You do you. So that's Cafe Knitting. And then another sweater. We are mixing. This is a thing that is currently being discussed, and I highly approve and highly support. And that is where you take some really amazing commercial yarns such as Barocco Vintage DK, which if you have not gotten by now, I love this yarn, and I just would knit so much out of this yarn because it is incredible. Stick it with some nice yarn. So we have some Madeline Tosh, and then I have some Stash yarn, which is the Uncommon Thread, which I believe is even nicer than Madeline Tosh. So together we have a Tecumseh. And I have had this yarn again for very long, and I'm very excited to eventually knit my Tecumseh. I don't know, at one point I wanted to steek it, and that was what was holding me up. I don't know if I will do that. I don't know. But I'm really excited. Because I planned this sweater out. Like, I was intensely planning my colors. This was a Christmas present. Possibly 2 Christmases ago. So I've had this yarn for a long time. But like I said, the steeking was holding me up. And I didn't really know what exactly I wanted to do. So yeah. Barocco Vintage GK, Madeline Tosh, Uncommon Thread, which is Stash that I've had for super long. So we're stash busting as well. We can't go wrong with that. And yeah. Ooh, that was some thunder. This is getting weather updates as we record. I'm sure you're really dying to know what the weather is like here right now. This would also be relatively instant gratification because it is such a, it is a DK weight sweater, technically, but I believe it's knit on a bigger needle. So, I really want to knit this. I think I may do a pullover. Like, I think maybe I wouldn't really enjoy it as much if it was a cardigan. Maybe. I don't know. I need to decide. I love these colors, though. This is just, like, such... This brings me a lot of joy. And I love this yarn. I picked this out. Also, the name was kind of what really made me look at it. I knew I wanted like a rose goldy type look. But it's also, so you got the gold, you got the rose, you got a little bit of purple in there, and you got navy speckles and orange speckles. And this is called Huga. And I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. I could be wrong. Huga. Stop focusing on me. There we go. So, it's beautiful. So I think together, that is just beautiful. And then we throw the brown in as the main color. Mix it up. Have nice yarn. Have commercial yarn. Knit with all commercial yarn. Knit with not commercial yarn. You have options. There is good options. And yes. So that is my Tecumseh. I've had yarn for forever. I really, 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 really want to knit it. I even have the pattern printed out. Like, it's literally sitting on top of the main place where I put all my yarn. And every time I see it, it's like, I should really cast this on. I should really knit this because this would bring me a lot of joy. And I never do. So, let's move on. I've got 2 more projects here that I want to share with you, which is yarn that is a new acquisition. I got this yarn, or we got some of this yarn 2 weeks ago, I believe. And then I just recently got it personally because it was shipped to my mom, and so I saw her on Sunday and blah blah blah. I now have it. So this is yarn from a friend of mine that has her own yarn business, and this is really wonderful. She's got beautiful colors. This is Heathered Handmaids, and these 2 colors, I have Eraser Dust, which is super fun, and then I have Robin's Egg, which is absolutely stunning. It is so many different colors of blue with incredible speckles of, like, I think it's black or something. They're like really incredible speckles. It's a robin's egg. It's just amazing. And so together this will be the 5 Roses shawl, and I'm blanking on the name of the designer. But it's lacy, it is kind of asymmetrical, it's 2 colors, it's very beautifully stripy and fadey at the same time, and so I wanted 2 colors that would stand out against each other but would still blend really well, and I think this is just stunning, and so I'm very excited. This is her website, heatherhandmaids.com, and her logo. She has amazing yarn, and she also makes other things like enamel stitch markers. I also got another one of her skeins, which was a new color at the time called New Growth. I think it's raining now because there's rain hitting the window. It's raining. This is New Growth, and this will be the lemon scone on afternoon, something like that. Lemon scone is in the title. It is a single skein cowl. It's got baubles, it's got lace, it's beautiful, and I think this just very soft minty green color, or sagey New Growth will be absolutely stunning in this cowl. And so I'm very excited to start these 2 projects. I'm not sure which one I'll do first. I might do the cowl. That will be a little bit more instant gratifications, but like, look at those speckles. Heather does incredible stuff. She has pre-orders up currently for a new color that she just created called Confetti Cake, and we got some of it, and I'm very excited, and I cannot wait till it comes. But you should go check out what she has in her shop, because she makes incredible, incredible yarn, and I'm so excited to be knitting with it, and I cannot wait to cast it on. But I have so many things to cast on, I don't know what to start. Do I do a sweater? Do I do a shawl? I could do a sweater and a shawl. Even things out a little bit. I don't know. Do you want to take a vote? You want to tell me what would you like to see me knit next? Maybe this should become a regular thing. I throw out a couple of project ideas and then you guys pick what I knit. Ooh, that would be fun. That seems like an adventure in and of itself. I'll have to think about that one. That sounds very fun. Anyway, I have talked about yarn for a very long time. I have rambled for a very long time. It's now raining. I also need to go start preparing dinner. So, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble, talking about my knitting mojo, talking about, what is this? I have a phone. Oh, it's a scam phone call. Don't have time for that. We're podcasting. Thank you for being you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being a subscriber, commenting, liking, whatever you do. I appreciate you. And yeah, I hope you have had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they're successful. I have so many crafty plans, everyone. What do? I don't know. I have so many options. I have stuff that I really need to finish and stuff that I really, really, really want to cast on. I just don't know what. There's so many things I want to cast on. I don't know. I just don't know. Do I go instant gratification? Do I go something that's really big? I don't know. Do I do both? We'll see. We'll figure it out. Social media information and show notes will be on my blog, all that jazz. Keep your eyes peeled for the various test knits that I have done that are going out. There's the Hedra Helix pullover that just went up this past Friday, I believe. So the brioche sweater that I knit, that is out. If you have not seen my pictures, they are on my Instagram and now my Ravelry page, so please go look at those. The Speckles and Spice should be coming out at the end of this week or the beginning of next week. The Perplexity wrap that I test knit a while ago will be coming out at the beginning of August. The Deco tee should also be coming out soon. There's so many test knits that are coming out soon, and it is very exciting and also just like, wow, 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 wow. But it's okay. You know what? It'll be okay. I will be okay. It's all knitting. It's all good. Got a lot of reading to do. Got a lot of knitting to do. It's all good. Thank you again for spending so much time with me. I really appreciate it. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Also, if you have an opinion of what I should knit next, please let me know, because I'm very torn, and please let me know and we can discuss it in next week's episode. So, see you next week. Bye.